I had to look, I had to look it up. I had to see whether Callipygus was song 100 or PYT was song 100, and it's Callipygus is song 100 and PYT is song 101. So here are both of them. Here they are. Flash walking down the street, where all the people meet. Well, I don't mean to fall in a rut, but when I look at all these Callipygus people, everywhere there's a good but. Everywhere there's a good but. Everywhere there's a good but. Everywhere. I was crashing this New Year's Eve party, where all the people are dressed to please. You dress like that, well, it sure takes guts, but at least it shows off your Callipygus grades, baby. Everywhere there's a good but. Everywhere there's a good but. Everywhere there's a good but. Everywhere. This is where the cool solo would come in. Still working on that solo. In your bedroom yesterday, you get up to change the record sleeve. I muttered something underneath my breath, and you said, "What?" I said, "Girl, you're so Callipygusly sweet, yeah." Ow! Everywhere there's a good but. Everywhere there's a good but. Everywhere there's a good but. I said everywhere there's a good but. Everywhere there's a good but. Everywhere there's a good but. Whoever's watching this, you have a good but. Everywhere there's a good but. There might be a little more gusto in that song. That song may have gotten more pointed than all the other ones, as it were. And it's a song about butts. From a word I learned from my dad, who read it in the SF Chronicle when I was a kid. And then I wrote that song in Exodus from Burning Man 2013 with my mom, when she was hilariously wasted, finishing off a bladder of white wine. One of those box wine bladders. All right, this next one's called PYT. You are the one. You've always been the one. Oh, and you knew it. You knew it, love. Before our souls took form, like they have on this planet, they made a special pact to match. Oh, aesthetics. I say I knew you when you were young and you were thin, but you're still pretty thin. You're still pretty young, still pretty. And I say I knew you when you were young and you were thin, but you're still pretty thin. Still pretty young, still pretty to me. You are still pretty to me. Always remember that you're still pretty to me, okay? Wherever you go in 2026 and onward, and even including tonight, wherever you are tonight, just remember, I think you're pretty. You are my one. You've always been my one. So be it. So it's love, love. Before we were ideals, we were ideas in our minds. Oh, the want and then the have, the complete, dynamic in kindness. And I'd say I knew you when you were young and you were thin, but you're still pretty thin. You're still pretty young, still pretty. And I say I knew you when you were young and you were thin, but you're still pretty thin. You're still pretty young, still pretty. And I say I knew you when you were young and you were thin, but you're still pretty young. And you're still pretty thin, and you'll always be pretty to me. All right. We did it. 101 songs in like 2.5 months. Couple of weekdays. Wow. I'm certain that there are songs on there that we played in the last, I say we because it's an interactive thing, even though I'm doing the playing, I still think of it as a partnership. For those of you that tune in and listen to these, I think I've played some songs probably that I haven't played since I wrote that album released that album in 2014, December 2014, so over 11 years at this point, which is really fun. I'm just not sure which songs they are. There are a lot of those that have gotten some play over the years, and I did a live stream a couple years ago where I did, I think the Bittersweet album. Maybe it was the Sweet album all the way through, and I might do something like that again. I also have a dream of like doing like a 3-night, residency at a place in a row, and we do each of the albums because they're divided up into actually there's 4 albums, but we throw in a couple. The 2 is not as an encore. I don't do encores. We throw in those extra 2 somewhere the last night, I guess, maybe. But yeah, Happy New Year. Not quite New Year's on the East Coast, but getting there. Got a few hours for us in California and in the Pacific. But I feel great about 2026. I know there's a lot of less great things going on, like a lot of them. And yet, we keep going. And personally, I'm saying 2026 is going to be the best year ever yet, because why not? Because why not go into it thinking that and bringing that kind of energy and doing everything I can to uplift at all times. Even if that just means taking care of myself and being quiet because I need to. So, I intend to keep this going weekdays and maybe even more. I have a concept for what I want to do starting tomorrow that's similar to this but even more intense, which, ain't that the exponential growth thing. So I guess tune in tomorrow sometime or whenever, or these get stored at the various places. I think YouTube is probably the easiest one to access, and we'll keep going, because, yeah. All right. We did it. Also, I just announced in my newsletter that I have completed 26 solo albums have been released to all the things, like all the streaming services, and I have a couple more to upload to Bandcamp, but otherwise they should be everywhere, and I want to make some hard copies of them too, just for fun. But 26 albums, and that includes the Cobra Handjob record that was a group record with Kat and Ange and Chris Welch on production and recording and mixing and mastering. But then 25 solo albums. So that's something. That's a fair amount of songs. So yeah, let's see what 2026 is going to bring.